Welcome to day 5 of the Author Platform Challenge. Woo, we made it! It's day 5. Good job. I'm so excited for you and for your book and your author platform and how this is going to help you get momentum in your book sales. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for each of these 5 days. Today is day 5, and today I'm going to share the secret of building a tribe of super loyal fans who will promote your books for you. Awesome, right? If you've missed any of the previous days and the videos, make sure that you get all the videos and the challenge checklist at shelleyhitz.com/platform challenge. Go and make sure you get access because I don't want you to miss even one day. Now, why do I say that? I'm not saying that to be egotistical and like, oh, you need my training. It's almost like a cake. Have you baked a cake before? Well, what if you left out one key ingredient? What would happen to that cake? It would fall flat and you wouldn't have a successful cake. And when it comes to your author platform, there are some very key important ingredients that if you forget even one of these ingredients, your results could fall flat. Now, I'm not saying you can't get success with just doing one or here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there. But when you combine all 5 of these strategies that I've shared in this 5-day challenge, it's going to be even more powerful. So make sure you've watched each of the videos. So just a real quick recap. Day 1 was why you must have an author platform even if you're not selling many books or still unpublished. Day 2 was the power of getting crystal clear on who your ideal reader is and tips on finding your audience online. And I probably have gotten the most comments and the most feedback on day number 2. It was just a really big eye-opener and a breakthrough for many authors. Day 3 is how to grow your online following, plus the #1 way I've used to sell more books. Day number 4 was my favorite free strategy for getting more exposure to your ideal reader who is ready and excited to buy your book. And then today we're on day 5 and we're going to talk about the secrets of building a tribe of super loyal fans who will promote your books for you. So if you haven't yet, make sure to share this challenge with your author friends. You can either just share one of the videos here on Facebook or share the link shelleyhitz.com/platform challenge. It will be available ongoing. And this is a little tip. So what I'm doing is this week is the week for the book launch of my print book, Build and Grow Your Author Platform, 9 strategies to build and grow your platform. We're covering 5 in this live challenge. The other 4 are in the book. I encourage you to go get the book. You can get it at shelleyhitz.com/build. And if you get the print version, I have a special gift for you. So this is a tip for you. I'm putting a ton of energy. I put a ton of time and commitment into doing this challenge. And you might think, Shelley, why are you doing this? Why are you putting so much time and energy into this one thing? Yeah, it is to sell books, and I have sold books, but it's also to build an evergreen funnel that will continue to bring new people into my tribe, into my audience. And so this challenge will be available ongoing at shelleyhitz.com/platform challenge. So at any time that you find this challenge, feel free to share it because it will be available and it will continue to work for me. Guess what? 24/7. I love to teach you to do work that you do one time and that continues to market for you ongoing. Those are the type of strategies I love to teach you because that's what I love to teach. I love to teach you how to get more freedom in your life and not to just be tied to a computer. And one way to do that is to do something like this, where you create evergreen content that can continue to work for you all the time. Yeah, it gets me excited. I love it. And I want you to break free from the trap thinking that you have to be doing something every day, sitting at your computer every day and pumping out something every day. You don't. I mean, you can really, it's just amazing. I'm going to be talking about this more soon. So today is the D in the build and grow acronym. D stands for deliver amazingly helpful content. So when you're thinking about marketing and content marketing in particular, when you're sharing content to your audience, to your tribe, you want to think about delivering amazingly helpful content. But what does that mean? I'm going to give you 3 tips in this training of what that means to deliver amazingly helpful content. I want to share, first of all, tip number 1, and I already kind of covered this in one of the other lessons, but tip number 1 is with your content, whether it's a lead magnet, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a video, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a social media post, but particularly with your lead magnets and your content on your blog, but especially those lead magnets, I want you to think about tip number 1. What pain point can you address, or what problem can you solve for your target audience? So in day 2, we identified who your target audience is. We got real narrow. And what pain point can you address, or problem can you solve for that target audience? So there's a difference between vitamins and aspirin. When we're in pain, we want to get out of pain immediately. We'll go to the doctor, we'll pay whatever we need, get surgery or whatever we need to get out of pain. I was a physical therapist for 12 years, and I know what people think about when they're in chronic pain. I specialized in overuse injuries at work, and so I saw a lot of chronic pain patients, and it's not fun, and they want out of pain. But many times we know what's good for us, and we know we need to take those vitamins, but we're not as interested all the time in that. So when you're creating your content, I want you just to always be thinking, okay, how can I solve a pain point? What problem can I solve? For example, in my writingweek.com, it's a free nonfiction writing challenge, I was solving the problem of finishing your book, of writing your book, writing productivity. Many of my Author Audience Academy members were getting stuck. They weren't finishing their first drafts. If you don't finish your first draft, guess what? You have nothing. So I'm solving that pain point, and people then get results. And so that's the other thing with tip number 1, solving a pain point and helping them get results. Something that can help them get results. And even if you can get it fairly quickly, within Writing Week, people finish first drafts of books. No joke. Like, and not just one person, multiple people have emailed me and told me they finished the first draft of their book in 7 days. Like crazy. But people are, whether or not they're finishing their drafts, they're getting 2,000 words, they're finishing blog posts, they're finishing emails for their autoresponders. It doesn't have to be just about books in Writing Week. It's about making it what's best for you and your writing productivity. So people are getting results. And when you are able to get people results, they're like, ooh, this works. And what else do they have? What else can I get from them? What else can I buy from them? What else? What else? What else? And not everything is going to be that way, because obviously life is life. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Book marketing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It is a long-term thing, but there are some quick wins I can help to get for you. So I want you to think, tip number 1, what pain point can you address or problem you can solve, and what kind of results can you help them get, especially in a lead magnet, like a free offer that you're getting them to sign up to your email list. Because when you're giving them a 100-page ebook, how many people do you think are going to consume that and get the results? We're in a busy society. We're in a microwave snackable society. So that's number 2. Tip number 2 is your content should be easy to consume. So what I mean by easy to consume is if you have a 100-page ebook and you deliver that as your lead magnet, it's probably going to get saved onto a hard drive and it may never get looked at. Whereas if you give them a checklist, boom, 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 or you give them tools and resources, boom, 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 it's a 1-page PDF, yes, they can consume it, they can even apply it right away. Give them one really, really juicy tip rather than 100 or 10 long lessons. Now, I'm a prolific content creator, so I give you guys a lot of content, and I don't always do this. I'm going back, and I'm now going back through some of my lead magnets and seeing how I can change them. But I want you to think about your content. Is it easy to consume? So my podcast right now is in the process of changing. I've had my podcast since last year. It's been going really well. I love it. But because I'm expanding my team and I'm changing some things up, I'm changing the way I'm doing my podcast a little bit. And I'm going to be recording most of my podcast on live broadcasts like this. Then the audio will be stripped out of it for the podcast, and then it will be transcribed as it always was. So what I've started to do, and you can see this at shelleyhitz.com, is in my blog posts, I now have an audio at the top with the podcast. I have the transcript that's been edited and formatted for a blog post, and then I have the video at the bottom. So depending how you like to consume content, if you like audio, the audio is there. You can download it, you can listen to it on the go. You can subscribe in iTunes. If you like to read, which I find a lot of my audience actually prefers reading, the transcript's there for you. If you like to watch the video and like to see my expressions and interact with me that way, you can watch the video. So that's another way that you can offer it in a variety of formats to make it easier to consume. So I'm talking right now about free content. I'm not talking about the books that you sell. So right now I'm talking about delivering content that is free. This is all about content marketing, which is free content that you offer to people, that you offer to your potential target audience, you offer to your tribe. It could be a lead magnet, which is to get them to sign up for your email list. It could be a blog post, it could be a video, it could be a podcast, it could be social media content. Does that make sense? Does that clarify? So when it comes to that, you give them quick, actionable, results-oriented, easy to consume content that then leads them, guess what? To buy your book, your 100-page book. And then tip number 3, when, just delivering this amazingly helpful content, is consistency is key. So the biggest mistake I see a lot of authors make when it comes to content marketing and offering that free content to their potential target audience is the lack of consistency. And I think, it's that bright, shiny object syndrome. It's like, oh, Pinterest, I'm going to do this for a while. Or, oh, blogging, I'm going to do this for a while. Oh, podcasting, maybe I'll try that. Or, oh, videos. Or, maybe just a lack of scheduling and figuring out like how to batch your time effectively. It may be the fact of just you don't give it enough time, or you just get distracted by all these other marketing ideas. I want you to think about really what could be your primary way that you do content marketing. And again, by content marketing, I'm talking about free content that you are offering online for people to find you, for people to get to know, like, and trust you, for people to join your email list and join your tribe and your audience. When I was relaunching my personal brand a couple years ago, I decided that my primary content was going to be my podcast. Then my podcast would get transcribed and be published on my blog. So I wasn't going to be worrying about creating additional blog posts. I would do every Tuesday. So Tuesday was my podcast publishing day. And I've been very, very consistent. If you've been following me since I launched my podcast last July, it's like every Tuesday, clockwork. And I would send an email to my list, let them know the new podcast was out, and I pretty much was releasing content every Tuesday. So I really recommend a weekly basis if you can, and your blog posts don't even have to be ginormous. It can be 500 words, or like I said, deliver really helpful, result-oriented content, something that solves a pain point. Even if it's just one tip, it can be very, very helpful. I just did a blog post the other day about my #1 productivity tool, and I've already gotten feedback on Twitter. They're like, thank you, those tips were really great. And it's just a really simple tip. It's use your kitchen timer or a timer on your phone or whatever, and it's using the Pomodoro technique, but it's basically using your timer. And it's a very simple tip, but it's a very effective tip, and people appreciate that kind of results-oriented, get to the point information. So what I want you to think about is consistency. What is something you could commit to on a consistent basis? When you think about this, I want you to think about working smarter, not harder. We've talked about that several times this week, and I know a lot of times when you start thinking about, committing to something every week, your eyes start to cross and you're like, I can't do that. I have a job, I have a family, I volunteer in my church. But what if you decided that you were going to blog once a week, and then one day a month, you just blocked off your schedule and you said, I'm going to write those 4 blog posts. I'm going to go into WordPress. I'm going to schedule them. And WordPress has an automatic scheduler there. You can schedule it to go out every day or every week on a certain day. So say Thursdays is your scheduling day. You can go into WordPress, schedule it to go out, and then boom, you're done for the month. The power of batching your content. What if your primary content is video? You could also do the same thing. Like, you can create those videos in one day. Just change your top so it looks like you're in a different outfit, and just create those videos. And then in YouTube, they have a scheduler. When you upload it, you can choose to schedule it to go out 1 video a week. Boom, you're done. 1 day a month, you're done. If it's a podcast, same thing. You can record all your podcasts in 1 day and schedule them. Done. I use Libsyn for podcasts, and they let me schedule ahead of time. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. But I really encourage you to try to be consistent and try to really decide what works best with your strengths, what works best with your tribe, what kind of content do they like best, what works best for you, and then just go with it. And the thing that I want you to think about too is you're not locked in. You're not locked into anything. We are pretty much the CEO of our book business. If you're a self-published author, an independently published author, if you have your own publishing company, you have control of this. And even if you're not, you can work with your publisher on this, but guess what? You can pivot and shift as needed. There's different seasons in life, there's different times in life, and so that's what I'm in. I'm in a pivot and shift season right now. Because my team is growing and I have more help, I'm going to be able to create more content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating content on a regular basis on Facebook Live. I'm going to try 5 days a week, if not at least 2 or 3 times a week. Those videos will go to my video and audio editor, and then it will go to my graphic designer, and then it will go to my transcriptionist, and I have a whole team, and it's all, a lot of it's automated, and it's just going to flow. But then it will go to my blog, and I'll probably have anywhere from 2 to 5 new blog posts a week. Guess what? Google loves new content. So I was feeling locked in though. I was feeling like I'm a podcast host. I need to do it exactly like every other podcast host. Have you ever felt like that? Like you have to do it like someone else? Or everyone else does it this way. If I'm blogging, I need to blog this way. If I'm doing content, I need to do content this way. And it's like, no. Or social media, you feel like you have to do it a certain way, and break out of that. Be you. Be what works best for you, and be willing to pivot and shift in different seasons of life. So I'm not putting numbers on my podcast anymore. Oh my goodness. I'm not numbering my podcast. I'm just delivering amazingly helpful content to you on a more consistent basis. Not only will that help my podcast rankings, it'll probably help my blog rankings. And it was all because I was willing to really change and not just feel like I was locked in to what every other podcaster tends to do, and the typical podcast blog posts that you have and the show notes and all of that. It's like I can do it differently, and I may change this later, but be willing to be open. My social media challenge, I teach about creating evergreen posts for social media and how to do that and creating all of that content. So if you're interested in social media stuff, go to 7daysocial.com, and you have to spell the word 7 out, /free, and you can get a few of my templates there for social media content. All right, so my 3 tips for today on delivering amazingly helpful content. Let's recap. First, solve a problem or pain point and make sure that you can help them get results. This is with your free content, your lead magnets, your blog posts, your videos, things like that. I usually have a take action tip at the end of my podcast episodes or my teachings. And the reason I do that is I want you guys not to just be taking in information, but to be implementing information. And if you implement, you'll get results. You know, it's trial and error. Some things work better than others, but as you continue to take action and apply what you're learning, you're going to start getting results, and you'll want to keep coming back for more tips from me, right? I hope so, at least. And I hope that you'll then want to keep coming back again and again and again for more information that you can apply. So I always try to have some sort of take action tip, and that's what I do to help you get results in the information I give you. Number 2, make it easy to consume. So if you're thinking about a free lead magnet, I don't recommend, a 60-page ebook or something. Make it a 1-page checklist or a 1-page tools list or something like that. Think outside the box. It could be an adult coloring page, that goes along with the theme of your book. I mean, there's so many different options, but make it something fun, quick, and something that they'll actually consume, because if it just sits on their hard drive, they'll probably forget about you, and they just won't be ready to come back for more, to buy your books, to buy your products and services. And number 3, what was number 3? Consistency. Consistency is key. Even if you're making small efforts every week, those small efforts every week are going to add up to big results over the long haul. The thing that I see most authors struggling with is the consistency, and it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be like you doing this huge book launch like I'm doing this week, every week. Just think about inching forward every week, doing something every week. And it's like a snowball over time. And I've seen that with my brand. As I've rebranded, I'm now in a place where it's starting to snowball. And it is exciting because I have all this content out there, and people are starting to call me for interviews, for paid speaking engagements. My membership is growing. And it didn't happen overnight. It's been a process. I first started coaching authors in 2010. But that consistency is key. Don't give up. I always say, I try to just remind you guys, never, never, never give up. Like what Winston Churchill said. Because many times, have you seen that meme on Facebook where they're digging for the diamonds and they're almost there? You can see the diamonds are right here and they're almost there, and they give up and turn around. Many times we give up before we really see the results. And so I want you to not give up. I want you to see this as a marathon and not a sprint. And yes, there are quick wins. Yes, there are big boosts that we can get in our book marketing. But I want you to see book marketing as a process, and that the consistency is what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. And I've wanted to give up many times, to be honest. I quit my physical therapy job in 2011. I've been a full-time entrepreneur and in ministry with my husband since that time. And there's been many times that I've just been like, oh, it's so hard. It's kind of like you feel like you're swimming across the ocean and you're never going to get a break. And yet I'm finally seeing that tipping point, and it's just like, yes. And it's consistency over time. And so I just want to encourage you today, if you're in that place where you just feel discouraged and you're feel like, oh, this has been a lot of work. It was so much work writing and publishing my book. Now it's so much work marketing my book, and I'm just not seeing the results that I want yet. I want to encourage you to not give up. You may have to tweak some things. Sometimes you need, really figure out who is your target audience, or maybe your marketing, you need to change some things up. That's okay. We're all in a process of learning. I actually got schooled by my business coach last night. I sent her some emails for a promotion I'm doing next week, and she was like, these are good, but we need more of this, and this. And I was like, I'm still learning. Copywriting is a weakness of mine, and so she's really helping me in that area, and I'm growing in that area this year. So you can build those skills. You can learn those skills even where you're weak, and even in those things that you feel like you're not progressing in. As we're coming to a close of this 5-day platform challenge, I also want to encourage you to think outside the book. So I love this book. This is my 9 strategies to build your author platform. It's a very short book, very short and to the point. The strategies that I've used to sell over 103,000 books. Well, I love this book, and I'm doing this as a book launch for this book, but I'm not doing it just to sell books. I want you to think outside the book. I want you to think beyond just book sales, because guess what? It's really, 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 really hard to make a full-time income on just book sales. Some people do it and they do it great, and we've been in that place before. Our book sales kind of go up and down just like everyone else, but we've had months where we have more than enough in book royalties that covers our entire bills. But if we were only depending on book royalties, I would have had to have gone back to a regular 9-to-5 by now. And so I really want you to think beyond the book. Most authors that I meet and that I talk to, they're typical authors. They have these blinders on, and all they can see is book sales, book sales, book sales, book sales, book sales. You know, I've poured my heart and soul into this book. This is my book baby. This is what I want to be. I want to be an author. I want to make a living by writing. I want this book to sell. And there's a desperation, and I understand that. Let's take a deep breath. But I want you to think about taking off those blinders. There are times when you want to leave those blinders on. Like a racehorse has blinders on, so they will stay in their own lane. Like there's many times we need to stay focused and we need to have blinders on, but when it comes to marketing your books, I really want you to think about taking those blinders off and realizing there's a whole world of other ways. Not only can you reach your audience, have impact, have influence, but also have more income by thinking outside the book. This book launch, my goal was not just to sell books. Let me share. I actually have it in my Google Doc that I planned out for this launch. And there was actually, I've added, and so now I have 8 different goals for this book launch. Goal number 1 was to sell print books. Yes, this was a new print book. That was my goal. Goal number 2 is to build my email list. So I'm building my email list by sending you to shelleyhitz.com/platform challenge. Guess what? I have added hundreds of new people to my email list this week, and it will continue to grow because this is an evergreen challenge. Goal number 3 was to build buzz about my brand and my books on social media. So I'm asking you to share, click to tweet, share the Facebook event and share the Facebook video, and people are sharing and it's building buzz. Number 4 was to get more book reviews. So if you buy the print book, you can get my $47 training, and you can get all the details at shelleyhitz.com/photo contest. So anyone who enters the photo contest, I have already written up a template of an email I will send them asking them to also post a review on Amazon because I know they bought the book. All of my systems and my templates and everything that I've created for this challenge is actually going to be in Author Audience Academy for my Academy members. So Academy members, be looking for that. And I'm going to give you my email templates, everything, so that you can duplicate and just edit it for what might work best for you. So that was my 4th goal. My 5th goal was to create a system that I can teach to other authors. Like I said, I'm documenting the whole process. I'm documenting the good, the bad, the ugly. There's some things I've learned along the way, and I'm going to actually record a video for Author Audience Academy on some of the mistakes I made during this book launch. So I'm documenting this for other authors, and I'm going to be sharing it as valuable training in Author Audience Academy. Number 6 was to give value to you, my tribe. I want to give value to you so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I practice what I preach. I'm doing my own book launch here. I'm selling books too. But also, I'm going to be having a special promotion next week for Author Audience Academy. And so hopefully some of you have been able to really see the value of what I'm able to offer. And if this is free, just imagine what you'll get in my academy. I have new trainings on selling books every month. I'm going to be teaching in the next upcoming months my system on automation and working smarter, not harder. I'm going to be sharing all of those things in Author Audience Academy, and I hope that you'll join us. Some of you will, some of you won't, but this is kind of leading into kind of a promotion of my academy. And then number 7 was to create a powerful Facebook page. So I'm really wanting to focus on my Facebook page this year and really create a powerful Facebook page. Guess what? Facebook is favoring live video right now 10 times more than any other content. So by doing these live videos, I'm getting in your feed, you're getting to see me, you're getting to be reminded of me. I've been growing my Facebook fans, and you're going to start seeing my content a little bit more if you've been interacting with these videos. Cool, right? And then number 8 was to create this evergreen funnel that I can continue to use ongoing to build my tribe. So does that make sense to you? For me, it's not just about selling books, because if it was just about selling books, I would be pretty discouraged right now, because I've probably sold maybe around 50 books. And for the amount of time I've put into this, the royalties that I get back, it's minimal. So if you're only thinking book royalties, you're going to spend a lot of time discouraged and frustrated. And I hear that over and over and over and over and over again. And I don't want you stuck there. I don't want you stuck there. I want you to see your book as a way to reach more people, to share your message, but I also want you to use this book as a way to leverage for many, many other things, and to be able to reach people in so many other ways, and to also be able to increase impact, influence, and income by thinking outside the book. All right, you got it? I'm excited. I want you to have success. I don't want you to be discouraged, disappointed, frustrated. I want you to reach those that need your message. And so many times that means thinking outside the book, thinking outside the box, thinking creatively, asking God for inspiration. If you're a Christ follower, pray and ask God, ask Him for ideas. He has given me some of the most crazy ideas that I'm like, nobody would ever tell me to do this. And guess what? They work. And it's not me. It's because I really believe God gave me that idea. I have many, many books that are for ministry. In fact, one of my most powerful ministry books is a book that comes out of one of my darkest moments, one of my most shameful moments, and it's a book I wrote for Christian women who struggle with pornography, because I was there and I've struggled with pornography and I'm now free. And so I share that freedom in that book, and I think just the fact of even just publishing that book gives a lot of women hope. They will email me and contact me, and they'll be like, thank you for sharing your story. They'll find me many times on YouTube. Videos are powerful, you guys, especially when they have the keywords, because people are searching on Google for help. They'll find a YouTube video that I did as a presentation for, it was some sort of conference on anti-porn or something. Well, they'll find my YouTube video, then they'll find my website, then they'll email me. Awesome. There's so many different ways, depending on what your topic is, what your audience is, what your book is about, that you can have impact, influence, and income through that book. I do want to say a prayer for you. I believe in the power of prayer, and I believe that there is a real spiritual battle. Many of my tribe, my audience, are Christians. Whether you write Christian books or not, you have a faith in Christ. And many times I believe that there's a spiritual battle against you. And so in your book marketing efforts, there is a key element. If you are a Christ follower, I truly believe that you need to form a small prayer team. I have a video on this and a podcast episode on 3 reasons every Christian author needs a prayer team. If you have not watched that video or listened to that podcast, do it. And you're a Christian author, because there is a very real spiritual battle. And many times, I believe, some of the obstacles we face, even in our marketing, can come from that. So I want to pray for you and pray over your books, pray over your marketing efforts, and then send you off on this 5-day challenge. We've had a great time together. Make sure you share ShelleyHitz.com/platform challenge. Make sure you get my book, leave a review, and get my free bonus at ShelleyHitz.com/photo contest. And let me pray over you. So God, I just thank you so much for each author that has joined me during this platform challenge. I pray for each author who will join me in the future. And I just pray over them right now, Lord. I just pray that you would just give them encouragement. I know so many authors are just discouraged and frustrated and disappointed and disillusioned by their book sales. I pray that you would give them hope. I pray that you would give them encouragement. And more than anything, Lord, I pray that you would give them the ideas that they need to reach their target audience, that you would give them the creativity and the things that will actually give them results, the things that will work for them. We are all different. We all have different gifts. We all have different abilities. We all have different target audiences. So what works for me may not work for someone else, but you know what will work for them. So I just pray you would give them inspiration and ideas and encouragement and help them to actually not dread marketing, but actually be excited for it, that marketing can be fun and marketing can be effective. And I just pray that you would also help them just to take off those blinders, to think outside the book. And I just pray that you would pour out your blessings. You would give them everything they need and that they would be able to move forward in what you have for them. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. The other thing I recommend is in my video or podcast, if you listen to it, is actually set up a system. So I like to have an email list. That's my prayer team. And then what you'll want to do is set up a calendar reminder to remind yourself to send them an email every week. So yes, they may forget to pray. We're all busy. But if you send a reminder and you send specific requests, I think you'll get a better response. But don't give up. Don't give up on that prayer team, because that is essential, I really believe, to overcoming that spiritual battle. Many times it comes in the forms of writer's block, comes in the forms of discouragement, despair, other things. So tech problems. I've seen that with some of my Author Audience Academy members, is they have crazy tech problems. Sometimes, you guys, it's just life. You know, we live in a technological world, and sometimes I have crazy tech things that, I'm not saying it's a spiritual battle, but sometimes it can be. I mean, we don't know for sure. So having that prayer support, I really believe, is key. Well, thank you guys so much again for joining me on this 5-day author platform challenge. I hope that you have gotten amazing value out of being part of this 5-day challenge, and that you have been able to take action on each day of the challenge. Your take action tip for today is do a content marketing audit and look at the 3 things that I gave you. So as far as a content marketing audit, is your lead magnet, is it solving a pain point? Is it helping them get results? And is it consumable, where they can consume it pretty easily? And as far as just regular content marketing, are you being consistent? So do a little content marketing audit of yourself using those 3 little tips and see where you could improve. There might be one little thing you could improve, and it could really dramatically change your results. So take action, implement. Overwhelm comes from taking in too much stuff and not implementing it. So instead of taking 10 trainings, take 1. Instead of listening to 10 people, really follow 1 or 2 people. That may or may not be me, but if it's me, I really treasure that. I appreciate that, and I will give you my best. But if you're listening to too many voices, if you have too many coaches, if you're taking too many courses and not implementing anything, it's going to lead to discouragement. And then also it can lead to confusion, because you're hearing one thing from this person and one thing from that person. So focus, consistency, let's do this. I'm ready to see you shine. It is your time to shine. And that comes from Matthew 5, where it talks about we're not to be a light hidden under a basket, but we're to let our light shine to the world, not just for our glory, and not for it at all for our glory, but to glorify our Father in heaven. And so I want you to let your light shine, and that's part of what building an author platform will do. It will connect you to your target audience so that you can share your message that God has given to you with those who need it. Well, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.